Okay, in between training like an athlete today. All right, listen, y'all. Okay, when I say training like an athlete, it's called mindset. Yeah, mindset. And then literally. Okay, I got to talk about this a bit more. We have alluded to the fact that eating healthier, it can be cheap. Yes, when you see the abundance that Jesus gives us. Remember, Jesus said that he came so that we can live and live more abundantly. So yes, that's the air conditioner that you hear running. Okay, that is the air conditioner inside the car. It's running because it is a bit warm outside. And my dash did not have time to cool off enough to just crack the windows, even though it's a nice breeze going out there and everything. I want y'all to hang tight. Let me let those notifications go out. In the meantime, I am Michelle Dickey, your host for CHA's Let's Just Chat show, streaming on the YouTube channel, Narcissism and Cognitive Dissonance, where trauma healing and spiritual growth are front and center while combating radio frequencies for healthier living. And what's part of healthier living? Healthier eating. That's right. Now, does that mean that we won't splurge? What's part of healthier living? Alright, does that mean that we won't splurge from time to time on something like a slice of pizza? Of course not. Nobody's saying that, but moderation. Okay, because for those of us who are weight training, I have to tell you, that creatine, yeah, like I put up in the academy, it can make you hungry because you're building muscles, and so your muscles need food. So a slice of pizza is not going to hurt you in that season, okay? Oh no, in fact, it'll benefit you because you need the carbs, protein and carbs. Got to have that balance. But I got to tell y'all that healthier eating, it can be cheap, but you got to see the abundance that goes with it. Yes, there is an abundance that Jesus promises. God's promises. Remember, God is a promise keeper. God is a promise keeper. And so we're going to talk about it. I have shared in another live stream where we talked about this before. And when I used to use StreamYard, and I had an actual picture. I had a picture of, I got just a few items, like I think I got some tomatoes, broccoli, just a few vegetables, and a couple of packs of dry beans, and something else, okay, at a local grocery store that is considered one of the, I don't know if you want to call it, like, yeah, it's considered a higher end grocery store. Okay, that's what they consider it inside the Matrix. But see, the Matrix don't want you to know that eating healthier can be cheap. It wants you to think that in order to live a healthier lifestyle, that it's got to be so expensive. No, it doesn't. That's why I tell y'all, you don't have to rush out. If you want to get on the weight training journey with us, that's fine. But you ain't got to run out there and buy you a bunch of hand weights right away. You could work with stuff that you already have in the house. Canned good. Yeah, cans. You can start lifting with cans. You can start with what you have in the house. You ain't got to run out there and be spending. No. Okay, that's not how we do things here. All right, we don't go on impulse in God's reality. But see, the Matrix wants you to do that. The Matrix wants you to operate on impulse. So, be mindful of that. Be mindful of that. And I have to tell y'all that it's how you do it. Healthier eating. It is how you do it. And yes, you all are witnessing a transformation take place here. I know that there's, well, see, because that's why, yep, the net is sweating now. That's excess. What you see going on here is excess water in the skin from when there was a lot of bruising there. I mean, I would tell you, yeah, it's just excess water. So for anybody else who might be experiencing that, and it's a normal part of the process too when you start weightlifting, because you are building muscle and you are toning and you are shaping, so there's going to be loose skin. That's all that is. It's skin that got loosened from being inflamed from all the heat and then the hot water. So it's just loose skin. So y'all are witnessing a transformation as it firms back up and tones back up. Yeah, not just it, but our whole body. Okay? As we continue to train. And that's why I invited y'all on this journey with us, so you can witness the transformation. I know a lot of people will be like, man, you would think that she'd be embarrassed. I'm not embarrassed by any of it. It's the natural part of the process. Any weight trainer or bodybuilder will tell you when you first get started, you're going to have some saggy skin. It happens. Anybody who's been overweight and lost weight will tell you that you're going to have some saggy skin when you get back. It happens. It's part of the process. And it's excess water that your body just needs to get rid of. That's all, as things tone and tighten back up. You don't necessarily need to take another supplement for skin elasticity. No. Okay, you really just gotta focus on healthier eating. Get your potassium. It's the water balance issue because of loose skin. Like, when they talk about when you first start working out and you have a little bit of, see, when I first started working out, I had a good bit of it here, but now you can see a lot of it. Yeah, it's just getting smaller and smaller as we continue to weight train and get back on track. So it's just a matter of time before all of this is tightened back up. It's already happening. So that's what happened. And for those of you who have seen it, I mean, there's been kudos to them though too on TikTok for sharing the visuals, but they had a lot of excess skin, and over time, yeah, same thing. It had to catch up. That's why we say focus on the internal and the external will follow. But eating healthier does not have to be expensive. No, it's about choices. And then the abundance mindset. Now, I get that if it's just me, then of course it could be a little bit different. But I'm talking about just in choices. And then you don't have to buy the brand name stuff. No. If you go and you want to get, let's say you want to make your own snap mix, fruit and nut snap mix. Okay, let's say you want to do that. You could do that, and you could get the store brand unsalted nuts and thing, and a small thing of raisins, the store bought brand. You don't have to buy the brand name stuff. Oh, and you can make your own right there at home. And let me tell y'all something. I got one of them big containers of unsalted mixed nuts. Well, I went to one of the warehouse thingies. It's like a Costco or a Sam's Club. I went to BJ's. So I got the big unsalted mixed nut container. Pretty big. And so what I did is I took it, and then I got some raisins and then pumpkin seeds. And so what I did is I had another container of unsalted peanuts. It was a little bit smaller. So I took from that container and put in the other one, and I added the pumpkin seeds and the raisins. I mixed it up in that container. Okay, well then I had some pumpkin seeds. So I had two decent sized containers. Let me tell y'all something. I'm still munching on the first container of that stuff. And that was been a couple of months ago. That's abundant. Because when you put it in the airtight container that you bought it in, yeah. And so that's why healthier eating does not have to be expensive. I paid, okay, well, because it's warehouse price, but I'm going to try the best. Oh, hey, see me. Yes, it is delicious. It's very healthy. Very healthy. Okay, a very healthy snack mix. Unsalted. Okay, it was mixed. It's got cashew, pecans, almonds. I added unsalted peanuts because that's not what was in there. And hazelnuts, I believe. Okay, so I had the unsalted mix there. And then I added the unsalted peanuts. container. So it's like I made a mix in both containers, and I added the pumpkin seeds and the raisins, and I got all unsalted where possible. And so the pumpkin seeds, actually, they were the only thing that went in there that was salted. So that kind of balances it out a little bit, so it didn't, right, so the whole mix is not overly salted, or really, because of the only thing being salted is the pumpkin seeds that were in there, roasted and salted, you don't really taste a whole lot. You get just like a hint of salt. And it's sea salt. So, there you go. And so I made that myself. And so I probably spent, I did not spend on that alone with the raisins, the pumpkin seed, the unsalted peanut, and the unsalted mixed nuts. I did not even spend $40 to get all of that. And that would been I gotta say, yeah, definitely a couple months ago at the time of this recording, and I'm still munching away on the first container because I'm working on, right, I emptied the small one already, but I've got it a little dish. What I've got is a Tupperware container, and so I put some in there, and that stays on the counter with another, right, airtight container, Tupperware, and it stays on the counter to snack on. And then the big container, I have that larger container still in the cupboard, airtight, mixed with raisins and pumpkin seeds ready to roll. And so if you think about it, between those two containers, not even spending $40 on them nuts, raisins, and pumpkin seeds, and I'm looking at probably at least a half a year, if not 7 months worth of fruit and nut mix that I made myself by getting all the ingredients. You do the math. That's abundance. You see? Now, if you are feeding a family and others are snacking on it, okay, so maybe you'll get 4 months out of it. But still take average $40, 4 months. That's $10 per month for a nice, homemade, healthy snack mix. That's not expensive. See, that's the thing. Yeah, it's all about your mindset, too. It's how you think about it. You know, a lot of people don't think like that. A lot of people don't think abundance, meaning, oh, this can last me a while. It's in how you do it. Yes, and it's healthy, exactly. So this is why I'm sharing that with y'all, because if you go, you know, of course, bigger doesn't always mean better, and more expensive definitely doesn't always mean better, but it's in how you do it. That's why I wanted to share that with you all. So quick recap, I got the large container unsalted mixed nuts, and then it was a smaller container of unsalted peanuts, because that wasn't in the mixed nut that I got. So I got, and also a big bag of raisins, and then also a big bag of the pumpkin seeds. Those were the only thing that was roasted and salted. So when I mixed, both of those containers were full of, I added the unsalted peanuts to the unsalted nut mix, and then the raisin and the pumpkin seeds. So I have a larger container and then a slightly smaller one. I have finished a slightly smaller one within a couple of months. I'm still working on the last bit of it in a small Tupperware container, and I probably have another month of that. So three months out of that one, and the next one's a little bit bigger. I'll probably get 4 months. So I'm probably gonna get 7 months worth. And I didn't even hit $40, but I'm using $40 as a nice round number. So when you think about, okay, 5 months, right? That's $8 a month. So when you think about 6 months, okay, 6 months, okay, so it 40 would be 30, okay, $6 and some change. And then when you look at 7, okay, 7 times 6, 7 times 5. No, 7 times 6 is 42, right? Yeah, 7 times 7 is 49. Put it in the comments if I stand correct. I'm trying to recall real quick, but I'm just giving y'all an idea. It's like not even $6 a month when it lasts me for $7 or for 7 months. Excuse me. Okay, all that snack mix. So it's in how you think. It's in how you do the math. It's in how you are like, okay, I know I'm going to want to keep that snap mix on hand each, like, because sometimes you're doing things, you're like, I feel a little bit munchy. That's when you go grab that healthy and energetic snap mix. And it's healthy. Healthier eating can be cheap. Healthier eating does not have to cost you an arm and a leg. It's choices. And then think about a beefsteak tomato. All right, think about that for a moment. How many slices do you think you can actually get out of one good, decent size beefsteak tomato? It depends on how thick you cut the slices now, don't it? Ding, 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 ding. So, same concept with everything. You get a thing of celery, right? You get a whole bag of celery. How long is that going to last you? Well, I would tell y'all, I got tips on the Patreon channel and our digital product line. I highly encourage y'all to check that out. That's in the description below. The link, you'll see CHA Patreon digital product. That takes you to our shop on Patreon. Well, I have some tips for you all. In fact, in the RF Tips #2 handbook, if you will, in the guide, as part of combating radio frequency for healthier living and healthier eating, but also how to keep your refrigerator organized. And then I share with you all tips on how to preserve your healthier food, the abundant. So, for example, you take that celery, and of course, how long it lasts, right? How many pieces you're gonna get is how you cut it up. Now, here's the kicker: when you start to see moisture, let's say you use a baggie, you start to see moisture building up inside that baggie, it's time to change the baggie or put it in a different airtight container. But what you want to watch for is the ends of the celery. Are they starting to brown just a little, but the rest of it's good? All right, go ahead and cut those little pieces of brown things off. The celery will last you a lot longer. Tried and true. I'm telling you, that's what I do. I do the same thing with broccoli. Same thing with broccoli. When I get a head of broccoli, if I'm not going to put it in the veggie tray right away, because I still have some in there, but I got some to replace that, then I'm going to cut a little bit of the stem off and put all of that in a baggie. Then when it comes time, it's in how, because every time you cut on the broccoli, that's the part that's going to start to go, it's going to start to turn brown first. So you pay attention to that same concept. If the broccoli in the baggie, if you start to see that moisture, you start to see in the stem area, I always leave enough to trim. And that broccoli can last quite a while. Now, there are times where if there's no more room, no more stem to cut, then I will go ahead and parboil, meaning I will put it on the stove and I will cook it partially. That way it's cooked. Now it goes back, cooled off, it goes into an airtight container, and now that lasts a bit longer. It's all in how you do it. Listen, it doesn't take that long to do any of this. Healthier eating does not have to be expensive. It can be cheap, and this is how you do it. You learn how to preserve it. You learn how to help your healthier food last longer. It works. It works. And, the same concept applies for just about anything. Just about anything. And what I do also, here's another tip for y'all. I've talked about this before, and it's on the Patreon channel as well. That grapes, cherry tomatoes, things like that, I always, as soon as I get back with that from the store, I inspect. Because I'll get the big thing of cherry tomatoes, because I eat on them suckers like candy. Them cherry tomatoes, I will inspect. Okay, in other words, I'll empty that container. I get things out of the store container, the store-bought container. I get it out of there. All right, grapes, any produce, fruits, and veggies, I get out of the store-bought container. First thing. So I go through those cherry tomatoes, and I will make sure each and every one of them, I will feel for their tenderness. And I also look a few times, there's been sometimes just one right there in the middle that's starting to rot. We get rid of it. All right. And so what I do is I go through and I feel for the tenderness of all those tomatoes. If it's getting too soggy, if it's getting too soft, it's on its way out. So I toss it. I don't even keep that. So a lot of time, out of that big container, I might throw away upwards to about maybe 10 tomatoes. But that's still not a whole lot. And that helps to preserve the ones that are not on the way out a bit longer. So each time I refill my veggie tray, if y'all didn't see that picture of the veggie and fruit tray that I put in the community tab, go take a look. On this channel, on the YouTube channel, if you click on the community tab, go to the YouTube channel if you're not on it, and click that community tab, and you can scroll down on regular postings, you'll find a picture of that veggie tray. That's what I'm talking about. Anytime it's time to refill it, I do the same thing. I'll go through I do the same thing with the grapes, because a lot of times, if you don't go through those grapes, because a lot of people don't, go through those grapes, somewhere inside there's going to be maybe a handful of them that are already starting to rot. You want to get them out of there. Same thing with bags of apples, right? Oh, any bags of fruit, anything that you've got in bag, you want to inspect it, and you want to get rid of the parts that are already going. That helps you preserve it even longer. And then getting it out of the store-bought container and into an airtight container or a baggie, and then keeping an eye on that stuff. You will make that stuff last a lot longer than you realize. And then here's a big tip for y'all. Seriously, the Holy Spirit said this is for somebody. Do not, if you are hungry and you're looking inside your refrigerator, if you don't know what's in there, get you a piece of paper and take inventory. Get you a magnet and put that inventory on the door. But don't stand there with the door wide open going, for like 5-10 minutes with that door open, because guess what? You want to preserve your healthy food, don't you? Okay, then you want to keep that door shut as much as possible. That's the point. Yeah. You want to keep the refrigerator door shut as much as possible. I see somebody sitting there going, you can drop it in the comments. That's for somebody right there. I know you got to keep it. So how do you keep an eye on the baggie and the airtight containers? Well, because if you're going to go, okay, listen, I'm getting ready to make a sandwich. So I know I'm going to open it up. I'm only going to have it open, the door open for a couple of minutes. That's how long it takes to notice if you need to change a baggie for your broccoli or your celery. Because you're going to open up that crisper or wherever it is that you got your sandwich stuff. You get your meat. You got your cheese. Then you grab your mayo. Okay, you got everything. You grab everything you need. You put it on the counter. In the meantime, you notice, I need to change that bag of celery out. So you grab it while you have it open. Go ahead and take care of that first. Then you close the door. Go ahead and take care of that celery. Get it into a new baggie or a different container. Then you make your sandwich. All right, now you all set. Reverse the process, right? You open up the fridge. You put the celery back in there. You put all the stuff back in the crisper. You put the mayo back in there. You close the door. It don't take that long. But you don't want to have that refrigerator door open for like 5-10 minutes staring at the inside of it. So write it down. Write the inventory down on a piece of paper and put that piece of paper on the door with the magnet. For those days where you just haven't made up your mind yet what you want. But don't stand there with that open. Because that will shorten the lifespan of certain foods in the fridge. By standing there with it open like that. Oh yeah. Tried and true. Okay? It's a lesson that yours truly had to learn. Oh yeah. Guilty. That's why I said you're not alone. But I learned it, and I learned it real quick. It's just I don't have to keep inventory now. I'm like, we know what's in there. Because we get in there enough. Alright, so there's your tip on that. But when you go to the grocery store and you want to get a healthier stuff, it's all about what you get too. Now, if you are, you got to be mindful of that too. Like, how much of the stuff do you need? Let's say you are looking at avocados. Let's say it's real popular, okay, in this area, to have a bin right there in the stores, and and there's a bunch of avocado. Okay, well, how many do you need? What are you, like from yours truly, I know I have some Mexican meat mixed in the fridge, okay? I also have burrito shells. So I'm at the store and I was like, okay, you know what? I would like some avocado on that. So how many do I also want to make, I have some turkey breast meat. And I said, I'd like to make a avocado turkey sandwich on whole wheat bread. Okay. So how many avocados will I need? Just how many will I eat? How much will I use? So I just grabbed 2. That's it. Now, if you're feeding more mouths, obviously, depending on what you do. So you got to, in other words, to eat healthier, it just takes self-thinking. It just takes a few minutes to figure it out, to work it out. Like, how many do you need at that particular time? Because avocados are not meant to last forever. So if you're making guacamole, now for those who don't know this, if you do make some homemade guacamole, you might get about 4, okay, avocados to make a nice bowl of guacamole. You're going to do that. Don't forget your lime juice. The lime juice. And I recommend all natural. Get you a lime. I don't recommend getting the lime juice in the bottle already. No, I don't recommend that. I recommend all natural. So you open up you get a lime, slice it, and then squeeze the lime juice into that guacamole. It will extend the life of the guacamole. And the avocado. If you have a half of avocado left and you know you're going to save it so it doesn't brown too soon, a little lime juice. Okay, there you go. A little bit of lime juice. But healthier eating, it can be cheap. And it really is your mindset. What you got planned? What are you planning on eating? You know? What you planning on eating? So, I'm trying to think of another example. Okay, bananas. Do you have a banana hanger? Like something that you can hang the bananas on so that they're not... You're welcome. You're welcome on the avocados. You got it. I know you would think something so simple, but no, I mean, listen, I don't know who does and who doesn't know these things. So I'll give y'all tried and true techniques. It's all part... See, this is the growing community of spiritual warriors for Christ. And we're on this journey together. We're combating radio frequency for healthier living. So the next time you go to the store and you want to make some guacamole, you get some avocados, you know now to pick up a lime. Just one. That's all you need. It don't take a whole lot. Okay? So, that being said, bananas. For those of you who live in an area where your bananas are edible, I have learned from a fellow warrior, okay, from our fellow warrior, Chris Miller, and thank you, Chris, for letting us know about them, that where he's located in the UK, for whatever reason, the bananas are not edible. Like they're GMO'd or, yeah, he said they're just not edible. So there's, yes, thanks to Chris Miller for that. He said they're not edible, so it's unfortunate, but there are other great sources of potassium. Sweet potatoes, butternut squash, acorn squash, zucchini, yellow squash. There are a ton of, and then animal meats and things like that also have potassium. So you just, you know, your fruits and your veggies are going to have potassium. So, you know, if you're eating a fairly well-rounded diet of a mix of fruits and veggies, then you're likely getting a decent amount of potassium in your daily intake. So you shouldn't need a supplement, okay? But anything like, if you do live in an area where you have bananas that are edible, how to preserve and prolong the life of those bananas is just, hi, Chris, we were just thanking you for letting us know about the banana situation in the UK, how they're not edible there. Because I'm using bananas as another example for how healthier eating does not have to be expensive, because bananas really are not that expensive when you get, like, you know, just like 5 at a time, which is my go-to number typically, depending on what they look like. If they're already turning brown, I don't touch them. I'll go to the little man's superfood section and get the little jars of banana. Hint, hint. More about that on the Patreon channel. Okay, now, that being said, if you do have an area where the bananas are not GMO'd and you can eat them, then you want to have, if you've seen those like baskets, right? Have you seen those produce baskets that have like a hanger of sorts? Okay, well, that's for the bananas. That's to hang bananas on. And so that's what I have. Okay, I've got a produce basket. It's metal, but it has a hanger on it where I can hang the bananas, and that preserves them a bit longer. It prolongs their lifespan. So, because if you have your bananas lying down on something, exactly, then that side is going to turn. It's just the way bananas are. So, there's your tip on that. All right, and yes, as Chris was saying, that GMO bananas, yeah, they stay green for too long. Okay, well, yeah, that's not normal. I have to agree with you on that. That if the bananas are staying green for too long, and oh, by the way, here in the United States, y'all, I actually did find out that can actually be the case for some organic bananas. See, I usually don't do that on the banana side with organics, but when I went to the store, that's all they had available at the time, and I had bananas on my list, and I thought, well, what the heck? Well, yeah, after about a week and they weren't turning yellow, I got rid of them. I remembered you telling us about that, and I said, well, I'm not even going to attempt that. Why are they staying green? And I remembered you told us something about that. Yeah. All right, and then another tip I have for y'all for healthier eating, because healthier eating does not have to be expensive. Okay, it doesn't. Now, for those of you who might be in small space living, and let's say you've got some ice trays, but let's say you have a decent sized freezer, and you use ice on a regular basis. Okay, freezer size, okay, the gallon size baggies, get you a box of those. Run to your local store and get the biggest bagged ice. Yep, bag of ice that you can find. When you get back to wherever it is you gotta go, you've got your gallon size baggie. You break up that store-bought big bag of ice, and you put ice in the gallon baggie. I know in my freezer, on the bottom shelf, I can get 4 of those baggies of store-bought ice in there. And that, hang tight for a second, I'm going to show you. Well, if I can get to it here. Just a second, it fell over. There it is. And so when I'm out and about, I have my bottled water in my picnic basket. But in here, this is a 64-ounce tumbler that I use for just ice. Now, sometimes I'll fill it up with ice water and go on my walk. It just depends on how long I'm walking. But today, and so I can refill my 40-ounce ice water as needed. And these tumblers, the ice that's in here will last me all the way through till tomorrow if I don't use it all, and I can put it in this for tomorrow. So, you know, it's like I said, you put that big bag of store-bought ice, you divide it up into gallon baggies if you go through that season, and that's where you can make sure you have your ice water at all times, and you're not chasing your tail with having to fill up ice trays all the time. You can leave the ice trays for having ice in the room. For example, if I want to have a glass of unsweet iced tea while I'm inside the room, that's where the ice cube tray comes out. I'll put the ice cubes in a glass, I'll get me some unsweet tea, and I'll drink it right there. But when I'm out and about, I want my ice water right there. So there's that tip, okay, for anyone who might be wondering how you're going to make sure you have your ice. Well, yeah, it is a large bag, and I would tell you that gallon baggie of ice from the store-bought bag of ice will last me about 3 to 4 days between these two containers, depending on how much I'm walking, how much I'm training, and other things. So, yeah, health. Listen, when they say health is wealth, that's not a lie. That's why I said healthier eating, it can be cheap. So 1 gallon, eight pints. I know that 4 quarts is 1 gallon. So if eight pints, how many pints are in a quart? We can look it up. Yeah. Okay, and standard size for the fridge, about 85. Okay. Well, and if you want to get some regular baggies and put the ice cubes in those too, really, I'm just giving y'all an example. I use the gallon size one because I get the big bag of ice, of store-bought ice. And then I divide it up, and I can get 4 of those. I can get 4 gallons baggies on the bottom shelf in my freezer. Now, on the top shelf is where I will have some salmon and other things like that. But for right now, in this season, okay, at some point, I'm going to want to have at least half of that back for meats and things like that going forward. But right now, in this season, because it is flushing season, it is, it is training like an athlete like never before season. That's right. Well, that's the thing. If you are struggling to get out of bed because of poor health, then yeah, that's not good. That's not good at all. No. So anyway, yeah, I just wanted to kind of make sure everybody got, I staying on top of the comments here. I'm staying on top of the comments. And I can tell you that we notice when people drop off, whenever I show certain signs, the only reason remember, the Jezebels are checking in because they want to see if they're still bruising. Yeah, they want to see if they're still bruising here. That's what they're looking for. Right, because it gives them the illusion that, yeah. But I tell y'all something. Like I said in the very beginning of this episode here, as we're talking about healthier eating can be cheap. All of what you see going on here is just excess water that we are flushing out. And we are weight training, and we are toning up. And all of the inflammation that has been here is going away a little at a time. Because I can see it. Oh, yeah. That's why y'all get to see the transformation. Y'all get to see the transformation. Yep, y'all get to see the transformation, because all of that's going to be all the way healed. And real soon, too. You just wait. Because what the Jezebel did, the physical assault and all that, choking me and stuff, she thinks that, no, she screwed up. That's what she did. She screwed up. Because now we are so aware. So that's why I said, for anybody who has lost weight and started toning and stuff, you know what excess skin looks like, right? Yeah, and that's what's happening. And so water, sweat, if you will, gets a little bit trapped in those areas. But it eventually works its way out because it has to. It can't stay there forever. Remember, this too shall pass. But when y'all go shopping, okay, and you're looking for the healthier choices, you can make those healthier choices. And don't get discouraged by the prices. Think about the quantity and how long it will last. Think about the abundance. And you'll be surprised Okay, you will be surprised. Hey, Jeremiah. Yeah, you will be surprised at how much you really can get for less than what you think on the healthier side of things. And I'm not talking about things that claim to be on the healthier side. See, that's where we learn how to read labels. Because there's a lot of things out there in the store that are claiming to be healthier, brand name stuff, but when you read the ingredients, you find things like corn syrup, added sugars, excess salts. So yeah, it can be a whole wheat product, for example. It can be like a breakfast cookie, and it trying to pass itself off as being a healthier option. But you see that in one little cookie, there's 400 milligrams of sodium with only 150 milligrams of potassium. That's not a good balance. Then you also read corn syrup solids in the other ingredient section, monosodium glutamate, and Lord knows what else that you can't pronounce. That's not a healthier option. So you got to pay attention to that stuff. Don't be fooled. Don't be fooled. Okay? Because I'm going to tell you something. There are little breakfast bars, I call them. They are called Laura bars. Larabars. Laura bars. Dates and then nuts. Really simple ingredient. They don't add junk to their thing. So like I have blueberry muffin. That's dates, blueberries, and cashew. That's it. No sodium. And there's 4 grams of protein per bar. And it's enough to fill this little tummy up for a while. All right? And it's a great snack. So there's a tip for whoever needs it there. And they're typically not too expensive. You can get a box of 6 bars for, well, I know here at Walmart for like $7 or so, $7 or $8. That to me, that's not real bad when you think about per bar. See, that's the thing, y'all. Gotta change that thinking. All right, it's a healthier option, yeah, but it's not that expensive when you think about per bar. If it's going for $7.68 for the box of 6, break it down, divide that by 6. Okay, about $1 and some change per bar. That's not that much. All about how you think. All about how you think. Okay, so keep that in mind, because healthier eating, the Matrix don't want you to know this, that healthier eating can be cheap. But you got to change that mindset. Yeah. Well, yeah, and putting raisins in something equals healthy when it had, when it has added sugars and excess salt. Exactly. That takes, yeah. Right, you did the math. There you go. It's called do the math. When you go out there and you want to shop and you see stuff like that, and it is literally legit on the healthier side of things, do the math. Do the math. That's all you got to do. So, well, yeah. All right, y'all. So that wraps this one up. Okay, that wraps this one up for a bit today. I really just want to get on here and talk about this a little bit more. And I also wanted to share with you all the update and how I know the Jezebels are checking in on how we're doing. Yeah, on how we're doing. Because, see, that's the thing, is that by the way, yeah, our thyroid's good, okay? I want to give y'all an update on that. It was a little bit bruised and swollen for a short time. But we started taking kelp on a regular basis until it's good. It's back. It's fine. It's fine. Now we're just dealing with excess water. And I don't, and there's still a little bit of bruising in the tonsil area, but it's very minor. I can tell you that. But don't forget how the Jezebel and the devil love to think things look worse than they really are, and how LED lights will do that. LED lights will always make things look worse than they really are. And so whenever the Jezebels or the narcissists are checking in, that's what they're looking for. Because I notice when they drop off, They looking because they waiting for me to turn my head so they can see. See, that's not hanging anymore. So it's just that. Okay, again, loose skin. That's all it is. Loose skin from exactly excess water that was trapped in there from the inflammation and the bruising. And so as we are muscle building and training and losing weight and toning up, it's excess skin, saggy skin that just has to firm up over time, and it will. It already is, actually. It's just a matter of the body's excess water getting out of there. Yeah, that's all. And so I know that's what they're looking for, because it gives them their illusion of whatever pain and suffering. I'm telling y'all, it don't hurt. Not at all. Oh, good. Recent enemies are receiving serious spiritual punishment. Yep. There you go. Glory be to God. Glory be to God. Yay. Finally. See, that's why we say vengeance belongs to the Lord, y'all. Vengeance belongs to the Lord. We ain't got to do nothing. They are going through some very bad spiritual punishment now. Okay, good. Good. Then that's got to be what's happening for all of us then. So glory be to God. Glory be to God. Thank you for sharing that. That the narc enemies are receiving serious spiritual punishment. Yeah. So there you go. Leave it in the hands of God, and we keep on keeping on, all right? But y'all remember that eating healthier does not have to be expensive. So stay with us, because I will be bringing y'all some more tips as we figure them out, tried and true. And then also don't forget our Patreon digital product line, where I give y'all additional tips as part of our combat against radio frequency for healthier living. So healthier eating, healthier living. And it does not have to be expensive at all. Those digital guides are for you, and the value, they last you a lifetime. Get you an external hard drive or a thumb drive to store those things on, and you have them to go back to anytime you need. So you, as far as I know, you do not have to be a member of the Patreon channel in order to purchase your digital product to help you eat healthier for healthier living. And ginger is very good for digestion. There you go. Ginger ale rocks. All right. Thank you for that tip as well. All right, everybody. Okay, ginger ale. Got it. And we got to stay on the path. There you go. Amen. All right, everybody. Thank you all. Again, for those who would like to get your copy of CHA's fundraiser flyer right off the website, you can do so by visiting the T-shirt, mugs, and more page in the navigation drop-down menu. Our website link is in the description below. You can get your free copy of CHA's fundraiser flyer visiting the T-shirt, mug, and more link in the navigation drop-down menu to learn more about the fundraiser that we are holding for combating radio frequency for healthier living, because radio frequency, RF, education and awareness is very, very important. And the fund continue to help save lives by helping others live healthier through the awareness and the education about how radio frequency can have a negative impact on their overall health and well-being. Sending love and light to all fellow warriors. Thank you for watching, listening, and for your continued support. Till next time, show some gratitude to the Heavenly Father, and you keep being you. In Jesus' name, amen.